Now for the next question. Next question is very simple. Joy is driving her car and is accelerating. Suddenly a small cat crosses a road which makes her stop the car. Her body is thrown forward, causing her head to bump on the steering wheel as she is not also wearing a seat belt. Which law of motion applies in this situation? Okay, it's very simple question of simple understanding. Whenever you are in vehicle, you have experienced that whenever sudden brake is applied, at that time you will move forward without any force, like suddenly you will move forward automatically. Why automatically you will move forward? Because of the inertia. So right answer is law of inertia is the right answer, but we want to understand that why. What is law of inertia? What is inertia? Inertia is nothing else. Inertia is a property of a body to resist the change. Whenever there will be a change, body will try to oppose that change. If suppose a body is stationary, if you want to, suppose this is the body and body is stationary, okay, and you want to move this body, at that time body will try to oppose this change. It means oppose to move. Like you understand that if a bus is standing, bus is at rest, and if you will push it, it will not move. Why? Because it is opposing the change, okay, due to this inertia. So inertia is nothing else. Inertia is the first law of motion. In the first law of motion, you have understood the law of inertia. Law of inertia or first law of motion, both are same. Inertia is nothing else. Inertia is something which inertia is a property which is always oppose the change, okay. So just you have to remember this. Now the next one. A rock falls from a cliff that is 320 meter high. How long will it take the rock to reach the ground? Okay, suppose this is the given height, that is 320 meter. We want to find out the time. Okay, here is the object and what is the required time to reach the ground. It is very simple. You have understood the equations for the motion, uniformly accelerated motion, the equations for the uniformly accelerated motion. These are the equations. If you haven't remember, then first equation is v equals to v0 plus at. Second equation is d equals to v0t plus 1 by 2 at square. Third equation is v square minus v0 square equals to 2ad. These are three most important equations for the uniformly accelerated motion. In this case, here is uniformly accelerated motion, because if a body will fall, at that time what is the acceleration of that body? Gravitational acceleration, which is uniform, okay. So we can apply this these equations, okay. What do we want to find in this question? We want to find out the time. It means we should have the equation which has the time. So first or second can be applied. Here we have the distance which is traveled by the object, and that is d. So we are going to apply the second equation, okay. In the second equation, you can see d equals to v0t plus 1 by 2 at square, okay. Let me give you the information of each and every terms. D is the distance traveled by the object. v0 is the initial velocity of the object. If body is free falling, at that time initial velocity is 0. So v0 is 0 in this particular case. T is the required time and a is the acceleration. So our equation should like this: d equals to v0 is 0, initial velocity of body is 0, that is why it is 0 plus 1 by 2, acceleration is gravitational acceleration, it is g, and this is t square. So finally we got here d equals to 1 by 2 gt square. We want to find out d equals to 1 by 2 gt square. We want to find out the time, and that is why t square, okay. T square equals to, this 2 will be this side, so 2d upon g, okay. We want to find out t only, that is why square root of both sides, that will become 2d upon g, okay. Put the value and get the answer, okay. This time I am going for the calculation, but otherwise you have to calculate by it yourself, okay. So that is 2 into d. D is what? D is the distance. Distance is 320 meter given, upon g. G is the gravitational acceleration, that is 10 or 9.8, whatever you want to put, okay. 10, 0, 0 will be cancelled out. 32 into 2, that will be 64, and square root of 64 will become 8, and that is why the right answer is 8 seconds. So 8 seconds is our answer, okay. The time required to rock to reach the ground, it is 8 seconds, okay. Now for the next question. In the next one, in order to get an upright image photographic slides must be placed upside down in a slide projector. What type of lens must the slide projector have? This is the knowledge type question, means fact question. If you have knowledge of about the projector, then you can answer this question. Okay, that is very simple. First of all, we have the photographic slides that will create an image inverted, and if you want the right image, it means not inverted. Okay, at that time you have to put that lens which can give you the inverted image. Okay, so what type of lens must the slide projector have? So any of we have 4 options. We have to select that one which can give you the inverted image, and you know very well that inverted image can be given only and only by the convex lens, and that is why the right answer is convex lens. Okay, that is the simple knowledge based question. Next one, 2 forces are pulling a box. One is on the left side with a force of 90 Newton, while the other is on the right side with a force of 80 Newton. What is the resultant force? Very simple question which can be answered by the student of 10th standard also. Okay, suppose this is a box. We have 2 forces. First one is in the left side with a force of 90 Newton. So this is left side. Here is the force 90 Newton, and in the right side that is 80 Newton force. Okay, what is the resultant force? This is 90 Newton, this is 80 Newton. So 10 Newton will be remaining in the direction of left. So right answer is 10 Newton left. Okay, very simple question. Okay, in the next one, a light bulb on a block of wood warms the inner surface of a metal box as shown below. How is heat transferred to the box? Okay, you can see in the image, here is the bulb, and now the question is in which way heat will be transferred to the inner surface of the box. Okay, we have 3 options: conduction, convection and radiation. So you should have some knowledge of these 3. Conduction is what? Conduction is actually that when 2 objects are in physically contact and the heat is transferring and heat is transferred, at that time it is known as the conduction. Okay, in the convection, that is air medium or liquid or fluid, any of these, at that time if heat is transferred to the through the air or liquid or anything else, at that time it can be known as the convection. And in the case of radiation, there is no need of any medium. Without medium or with the medium, it can transfer the heat. So in this case particularly, you can see that the heat of the bulb is transferred into the metal box is due to the air, and that is why we can say it is convection, or it can be radiation also, because in the case of radiation there is no need of medium. If there is medium, doesn't care about it. Okay, so convection and radiation both are the right one, and that is why the right answer is both 2 and 3, convection and the radiation. Now in the next question, in the photoelectric effect, which photons of light dislodge electrons with the highest kinetic energy? This is the very good question, and little bit hard for you to understand the photoelectric effect. What is photoelectric effect? As you know that whenever we have the metallic surface which is photosensitive, it means whenever light strike, light has the photons. So here is photons. When light strikes on the surface, photons will be absorbed by the surface, and here is some electrons. These electrons will absorb the photon, it means absorb the energy, and they will come out from the surface. It's called the photoelectric emission or photoelectric effect. In this case particularly, what they want to ask us, which photons of light dislodge electrons. Okay, so we have this white light. In white light, as you know that there is VIBGYOR. VIBGYOR means violet to red. These are the colors are there. Okay, now the question is the highest kinetic energy. So you should have remember this series. This is VIBGYOR. Okay, these all are the colors that you know very well. VIBGYOR, from violet to red. If you are going from violet to red, you have to remember that frequency is decreasing. As frequency is decreasing, energy is also decreasing. It means violet light has highest frequency and highest energy. In the same way, you can say that red light has lowest frequency and lowest energy. Okay, so if you want the highest kinetic energy of electrons, at that time highest kinetic energy should be incident on the surface, and the highest kinetic energy belongs to the violet light rather than the red light. Okay, so in this comparison, these are the simple color violet and red, but if any other asks, you have to remember this series, that is VIBGYOR. From V to R if you are going, then frequency is decreasing and energy is also decreasing. So highest energy is violet, highest energy belong to the violet color, and highest frequency belong to the violet. Okay, and lowest one is red. So final answer, highest kinetic energy, photons of dim blue light, photons of bright red light, photons of very dim violet light, photons of very bright green light. Okay, one more thing I want to tell you is that dim or bright light doesn't care, just you need to know that what is the color. Okay, then violet light has the highest frequency and highest energy, and that is why if you want maximum kinetic energy, you should apply photons of very dim violet light. So right answer is C. Okay, you have to remember this series from V to R.